Hello there.
It's Steve-O here from the Elite FPL podcast, and as I stated earlier, I will be doing, as it stands right this second, my live reaction to everything regarding all things FPL concerning tonight's games. Now, to kick off with, I'm going to do what I always do, which is directly look at, now the game has updated, to look at my team for next week. Now, I have no idea what is next game week. I know it's game week 25 and I know it's a double game week. So I'm going to just pick my team as I would do normally. So hopefully the game will have updated. I know it did because I checked on my phone a minute ago, but I generally have no idea what's what. Now, for anybody that's going to be in the live chat, I will hopefully be able to see what you say, which straight away, Brett Mollison, good morning to you. If I do catch your chat message, I will try and interact with you, but it's very, very difficult as the message just comes up like that and just vanishes. So I'm now going to look at the next game week, which is game week 25, and for some reason, alright, of course, because it goes on to points. So straight away, I'm going to look at the next game week, which of course is double game week 25, and I instantly see, obviously, Sterling has got 2 game weeks. So straight away, I'm going to automatically make him my captain. There we are, done and done. Now, if you want to play along with me, and you are in any mini league that I'm in, so basically the Elite FPL podcast, I will happily tell you what team I'm looking at, and you can just click on their team and play along with me. Or if you're watching any games, any football results, fixtures, anything like that, then we will go through that as well. So I'm looking at the team now, and yeah, pretty set and forget, although I'm going to remove Kolasinac straight away. I'm no way having him playing against, who do you call it, Man City, and I'm going to just put in Bennett as so. And there we are, substitute, easy peasy, done. Now then, I've just seen a couple of people mention some team news, so right then, yes, there is some big team news that has come out from today's game, so I'll just come out of the screen for now. Richarlison's already scored. Richarlison has just scored already. Unbelievable. Thankfully, he isn't in my team. So he's already passed his audition. He's already passed his audition for the double game week straight away. So he scored against Millwall and he's just scored just now. Fantastic. That's some points straight away. Here we go. So yes. There was some interesting team news, so I wrote down some notes on here, what I thought of it. So straight away, Jota, it's his test for this evening, I think. I believe that this will be something for us to look at. No Digne. I saw someone just mention in the chat just now. Yep, that is correct. There is no Digne playing today, which is a complete surprise. And Leighton Baines getting a surprise call-up. Very, don't know where on earth that came from, but yes, Digne does not start. So a lot of owners out there will be very, very disappointed, especially the fact they've just gone 1-0 up against Huddersfield. Matt Ryan coming straight back into the team. I'm surprised at that. I thought Button may get one more game out, and he hasn't. So Matt Ryan is straight into the team. I've just seen Dan Ball is in chat there. Anderson and Arnautovic start together, and we all know what that means. It simply means that Glenn Murray has just scored for Brighton. So Glenn Murray has just scored for Brighton after the 3rd minute. So basically, Murray and Richarlison have just scored in the same few minutes as each other in the 3rd minute. So already 2 early goals. That's probably more than what happened in the solo one that I did a few weeks ago straight away. So incredible. Yeah, so Anderson and Arnautovic start, and as I already mentioned before, I believe that Felipe Anderson does nothing when Arnautovic starts. However, Arnautovic seems to do very, very well either way. So that's another test for him, although he's up against Wolves, so I don't think an easy game. I predicted 1-1 there. Aubameyang, Lacazette and Ozil starts. Ozil starting. I'm sure Dan has some thoughts on that. Apparently, he is the creative force which allows Aubameyang and Lacazette for a bit more freedom. So you never know, could be goals galore there. This is the big one, I think. Lukaku starts. And no Martial in the team whatsoever, which I'm very surprised at. But Lukaku's up top. I'm assuming he'll be switching flanks and roles with Rashford. But interesting team selection there from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Mata as well starting too. Of course, for Man City, this is the rehearsal ahead of the double game week and the SAS start. So Sane, Aguero and Sterling all start. And of course, that's going to be a big test for us for choosing him for our double game week. But to be completely honest with you, I think they are the three that everybody's going to pick. Although if you are going to go for a defender, Danilo starts today. So another one maybe to potentially look at. So now we've covered the old team news from the night's games. We've just seen the 2 goals come in from Richarlison and Glenn Murray. Although, let's be honest here, no one's really interested in what Glenn Murray. But I did see someone mention who got the assist. So I'm going to go straight into points straight away. And let's just see who did get the assists for both of the goals scored. And of course I've gone the wrong way here as ever, and the game still hasn't updated. This is just so typical when you go live. Nothing seems to update whenever you want it to. But yes, so here we are straight away. So Montoya who assisted Murray, and for Everton it was no one. So there was no assist for Richarlison. Right then, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at the mini-leagues. This is what I always do. I look at the mini-leagues that I take seriously, and in this case it is the Torbay Elite FPL Cash League, which I take very seriously. And the big one is, of course, Jason's team, who's number 1 in our league at the moment. He's just dominating it, and as we all know, he's doing pretty well in the Elite FPL, although the 2 above him, Jack Gleeson and Paul Wickett, are incredible. Right, so I'm going to scroll down now. And he did captain Salah. Ha! He did. Oh, unbelievable. Richarlison on the bench. So, right, so again, if you want to play along, just go to Elite FPL Podcast League and look at Jason's team. He is 3rd at the moment, I believe. And just click on his team to have a look at it if you like. So Dean, you're not playing, so straight away. Interesting. So Jason's already lost out on points. Kika Femenia isn't playing. So that means that, and Trent Alexander-Arnold isn't playing. So straight away, that's 0 points off his bench for that. Ryan Bennett will come on for Digne. And Richarlison is going to come on for Martial. So already, Jason is at a disadvantage by losing out on points from his 3rd substitute in Kika Femenia. Of course, the guy that scored so many points for him just a couple of game weeks ago, would you believe? Jack Gleeson's here. Hello, Jack. Oh, I just got a quick glimpse here. So he did go with Salah captain. So he did, I'm not going to say he bailed it, he bottled it. I think he's done the right thing now. I think as for a guy of his prestige in his position, I think that captaining Salah was probably the best bet. So yeah, looking back at that, so straight away he will be missing out on some points already from this game week. Now then, on to Darren Monday, who is 2nd. Let's see what he did. And he's gone with a 4-4-2. He's going to get probably Wilson if he starts against Chelsea off the bench, because Trent Alexander-Arnold doesn't start. Digne doesn't start, so that means that Wan-Bissaka will come in his place. He's gone with Salah captain as expected. I don't think he's actually even looked at his team correctly, because I think it's exactly the same as he left it before. I can't remember last game week. Let's have a look last game week what he did, because I'm pretty sure that he went with a 5-3-2, if I'm not mistaken, in the end of it. Let's have a look here as it comes up now. No, he went with a... Darren is active at the moment. I'm sure, Dan, if you're watching this live, you'll be able to maybe let me know in the chat, even though I won't actually see any of this whatsoever. But I don't think Darren... Oh, he is active. So I've just seen he's done 2 transfers. Let's have a look at his transfer list. Let's just see what Darren actually did. So he went with a 4-4-2. So he got rid of Hazard and Ings, and he brought in Son and Rashford. I'm a bit perplexed by that, because if I go back to his team, looking ahead to double game week 25, which is next, he only has 2 double game week players, and he's already used up 2 transfers to bring in Son, who may not even start tonight. Or tomorrow, it's tomorrow, isn't it, that he's playing? He may not even start tomorrow evening, and he brought in Rashford as well for Ings. Now, obviously, the Ings to Rashford is an upgrade, but I'm surprised at the Son move, considering, so straight away there's an advantage to myself and Jason there, if I'm honest with you. So I don't know why Darren has gone and done those specific transfer moves, but he will be getting on some substitutes again, automatic substitutes, due to the fact that 2 players will not be starting. So I'm going to look at now 3rd place, Ben Towler. And Ben, another one who seems to be kind of dropping a bit. He's not been doing that great of recent weeks. Like I said, I'm wanting to catch. I know Jason's out the picture, but I'm definitely wanting to straight away Digne. So this is going to be a theme of the night here. No Digne. So it's a question of who's going to be your substitute coming on. He's gone with Aubameyang captain. Straight away a differential there. That's good. So obviously Aubameyang's playing tonight. So far nothing has happened. It's still just the same scorelines, 1-0 across the board between Brighton winning 1-0 at Fulham so far, and Everton 1-0 up against Huddersfield. Ben's gone with a 3-4-3. He's done 1 transfer. Let's have a look at that. And for the next game week, double game week, he's got 3 so far. 2 Everton, only 1 City asset. Again, this just plays in my hands, because I think it's best to be loading up with pretty much 2 midfielders. So he brought in... Now, this is what I find really, really interesting, is the fact that he's got rid of John Stones, who's got a double game week next, and he's brought in Kolasinac. Thanks. Thank you, Ben, for helping me out here. I don't understand. This is what I find extraordinary with fantasy football. You get people like myself, Dan, Jason, obviously the guys in chat now that take this very, very seriously. We look ahead weeks. We're like snooker players. We look ahead way in advance. And it's one of those where when we speak to Jason a lot, and we always mention about the fact that we always seem to, you know, think, right, you're really far ahead at the start of the season. We're waiting until the double game weeks and everything like this. And I feel that I've got a major advantage here. Sorry, I'm being distracted by the fact that it's quite obvious that Jason's watching this. And he's saying, read the chat. And as I explained on the beginning of this video, for anybody that's joining me now, is that chat can... I mean, I'll be distracted. I'm going to look away from chat. It just keeps popping up, and I can't really get to read specifically what's what. But Jason's saying that he's on live now, so I don't know what I can do with the fact that... Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go back to re-looking at the teams in our mini league. We don't need to look at mine. So Connor Lee's another one. He's in 5th. I'll just quickly look at him because he's my nearest rival, but he's captain Rashford. Oh yeah, Nasri didn't start tonight either. That's another one. So he's going to have Wan-Bissaka coming off the bench. So I'm just quite looking at it. He's gone with a 3-4-3. Yeah, Richarlison scored for him. Now, the problem with Connor Lee for me is just the simple fact that he has Sane and Walker, Richarlison and well, Schneiderlin isn't going to play, but he's not even playing tonight. So Walker Sane, he's already got an advantage there over me with 2 City assets. So I think, do I need to block him off or not? I don't know, but we'll discuss that for the preview podcast, probably on Sunday evening. Looking at his team, Firmino as a differential here. Yeah, good. So I'm gonna quickly look at Dan's team. Let's just see what Dan's done this evening. He's 7th in the league at the moment. As it loads up, he's made no transfers. Interesting. Pogba already. He's only on 0 points. Has he got a yellow card already? What's going on here? Has Pogba got a yellow card already? Let's have a look. No, but I know Pogba's oh, they haven't kicked off yet. Sorry, that's oh god, that's quite embarrassing. They haven't kicked off yet, idiot. So so Dan's gone with Salah captain. Yeah, that makes obvious sense to me. And Rico, well, he ain't going to be coming on. He ain't going to be playing against Chelsea. Kika Firmino, he isn't going to be playing. So just like Jason, it's going to be 0 points coming off the bench for Dan. And knowing his luck, Westwood will probably get something tonight. And of course, one of his midfielders isn't going to be starting. So already an advantage. I'm already kind of in an advantage position straight away. I'll have a look at more like players in our league before I move on to your guys, the Elite FPL podcast one. So Dale Bellamy, he's going to get Wan-Bissaka on for Digne. Not many. So really, again, Jason getting the biggest advantage and Richarlison coming off the bench as it stands at the moment, which is really, really good for him. Again, if you have a strong bench, you know, that's what you're wanting. Now, let's have a look at Dan's rivals that he always likes about, the Roos brothers. Dexter hasn't done a transfer and he's captain Salah. So he's captain Salah there. And yeah, no shocks really from his team whatsoever. And then let's move on to his brother Roos. Let's move on to his brother Terry. And let's find out what's going on with Terry's team. And he's captain Salah as well. So basically it's all coming down to differentials regarding Dan's rivalries at the moment. So if we move on to your guys, Murray's second goal. Aguero, I saw in the chat Aguero may have scored. I'm just listening in now, and let's find out. So Sergio Aguero scored already. Ha! And to think there was somebody mocking. This is what I love about fantasy football. I'm going to go on a Steve-O rant for a second here. This is what I love about fantasy football is that if someone comes up with just a kind of a differential idea about, say, captaining, in this guy's instant was captaining Aguero, and he just mentioned some basic stats about him scoring 14 goals in 12 appearances or whatever it was, and someone had the audacity to go, yeah, but he didn't score against Newcastle in the last game, so it makes him a bad captain choice. Come on, man, calm down. You know, it's so, you know, when someone comes up with a differential idea and it just gets slammed straight away for being different. So I'm going to go straight into the Elite FPL podcast. And let's quickly find out. So Jack's going to be interested in this one. So it's Paul Wickett. He is 163rd in the world. And he went with Captain Salah. Of course he did. And he's going to get... And Jack's not going to be happy with this. He's not got... David Silva. David Silva got the assist. Jason's former friend, so to speak, getting the assist there for Aguero. So yes, Fabianski is going to come on for Button. And who's going to come on for Digne? Deulofeu. I don't know what Jack's thoughts are on this, but Deulofeu will be coming on for Digne. The news for Jack would be the fact that obviously Jack will look at Paul's team here, but only 2 double game weekers at the moment, and it's Sane and Digne. So I would think that, well, it's going to be an interesting one for Paul for who he gets rid of regarding for Man City players. Because budget-wise, unless he's got some money in the bank, he's got 0.1 in the bank, so not much at all. He's going to have to take a hit to be bringing in 2 more. I would think he's going to bring in some Man City assets, but I don't know if he's willing to take a risk on that or not. Looking at his team now, the only way to bring in Sterling or Aguero, for example, would be to get rid of Salah. And Firmino, maybe? Or Jimenez? I wouldn't risk that. So interestingly, Jack, for you, I think... let's have a look at your team, Jack, actually. So I just quickly saw in the chat there that Jack's done nothing. I mean, I think a lot of people are in that boat this game week. The fact that why would you do anything this game week, especially with double game week 25 next week. So no transfers made, 225th in the world. And, oh, just like Paul, but you've got 3 double game weekers in Sterling, Richarlison and Digne. It's all the same themes, running themes here. But you have the advantage of the fact that you've got Hazard and you could easily downgrade him to Sane. I think, in fact, that's the most logical move possible. You're not going to get rid of Salah. That would be ludicrous. In fact, Salah away at West Ham could be actually the better captaincy pick, to be honest with you. You won't do it. I know you won't, but you never. So Wan-Bissaka is going to come on for you, for Digne. That makes complete sense. Other than that, a good team. Good team. Let's have a look at some familiar faces within the chat that normally comes along. I know that Ryan Malone, he's 5th within the Elite FPL Podcast League. Let's have a look at him. Brave Little Toasters is his team. They're already on 12 points. Ryan Bennett's going to come in for him. Captain Salah. And, yeah, solid team. Nothing wrong with it so far. No major... But he's got, interestingly, he has 0 City assets going into the double game week. So I would think that he would be getting rid of Hazard for Sterling or Sane, of course. But like me, so he could actually do a straight swap from Hazard to Sterling as an example. But interestingly, who would he bring in as his second or maybe even third City asset? Would he go for a defender? Would he go for another attacker in Aguero? I don't know. But again, it's funny how people are dismissing Aguero, but they're probably going to jump on the bandwagon now just because he scored against Newcastle. When in the previous podcast, I said to Jason that actually I think Aubameyang to Aguero, for me, and then it'd be a case of bringing in someone in defence would be my best option for the double game week. That's just me personally. So then I would have Aguero, Sterling and Walker as an example, Laporte. It would mean downgrading Robertson, but again, I can look at that later in the week. So that's Ryan Malone's team there, and a bit of the thing. Graham Barker, sixth in our league. Let's have a quick look at his team. I'm sure he's already on 12 points so far. Captain Salah, he's gone with a 3-5-2. All his players are playing. Oh, Danny Ings, I think. No. Oh no, sorry, that's the Championship. My apologies there, complete dead air there. That's not good whatsoever. So, sorry, I thought there was something going on there regarding Premier League football. Clearly not. Oh, Pascal Gross got the assist for Murray's second goal. Interesting there. So, as it stands right now, as you all know as you're watching this, the only goals so far, Man City winning away at Newcastle 1-0 after about, a minute. Everton winning away at Huddersfield 1-0. Brighton 2-0 up. And that's it so far. So, yeah, so on to Graham Barker's team. He has no City players whatsoever. So again, he's going to have 2 free transfers. It's going to be a case of downgrading, I would have thought, Hazard and Mane. He'll probably drop down to Sterling and Sane. And just go into the double game week with 2 City and 2 Everton. Funny enough, Graham actually benched Digne. So someone seemed to have the foresight to bench Digne already, which makes me chuckle. So let's have a look, scroll through. FPL Boona, somebody that's a regular contributor to the live chat, to watching us and everything. Let's have a look at what he did. Well, Salah captain. Who's going to come on for Digne? It'd be Wan-Bissaka. And he's looking good. In fact, he's looking excellent for the double game week as it stands. Although he's taken a -4. Well, that's interesting for me. Let's have a look at who he transferred in this week then for a -4. I'm surprised at that. So he got rid of Hammer and Pereira. Oh, what a brilliant... Well, maybe not have done it this week, but I'm assuming he did this for the money. But then again, Digne and Pereira, same. So he got rid of Hammer for bringing in Edison and got rid of Pereira and brought in Digne. So he's already got... Looking at his team now, he has, I believe, so 1, 2, 3 City and 2 Everton. His 2 Everton, one of them a major differential in Sigurdsson. That could be really, really interesting here. So FPL Boona already is on the advantage there straight away, ahead of quite a lot of people within our mini league and many others. You don't really get to see that many double game weeks so far. I'll look for... Steve Stansfield, there's a name there. 50th in our league at the moment. He took a -4 as well. Digne not playing, so Bednarak will come in for Digne. Let's have a look at the transfers that he's done. Taking a -4, like I said. I'm surprised at that again. No need to be taking hits this week, especially before a double game week. Blimey, how many transfers he made? Unless this is all the wild card stuff. So we got rid of Doherty and Ali and brought in Bednarak and De Bruyne. Not too bad. Not too bad to bring in. Again, Kevin De Bruyne was a major differential there. That's the only City asset he's got, with Digne and Calvert-Lewin as his 3 double game week players so far. Calvert-Lewin not playing. Not playing tonight though. Right, then let's go and look at more other regular people as we just try and pass the time, waiting for a goal to kick in, so to speak. Vince Chapman, 51st, so he's 51st in the world here. Has done no transfers. He's going to get Ryan Bennett on for Digne, and he has captain Salah. Oh, he's got Aguero. Wow, he's got Aguero in, so that's going to be a good differential into the double game week there. But he's got the three double game week players, but no City other than Aguero. So that's, again, he's going to have to take some hits, like a lot of people will do regarding hits. But yeah, not too good there. John Chappell, somebody that suggested that I should be doing this, and he's going to get Ryan Bennett coming on for Trent Alexander-Arnold. He isn't playing, but he has Danilo and Sane for the double game week. So I'm going to assume that he may downgrade Aubameyang to Aguero for his next transfer. That's what I would advise. He made 2 transfers this week. Let's have a quick look at John's transfers made this week as we click on here at the moment. Let's scroll all the way down here and let's find out what John did. He got rid of... Okay, he got rid of Richarlison, a double game week player, and Bamba, and brought in Danilo and Jota. Okay, that's interesting, although so far that's been a big mistake, because obviously Richarlison has scored tonight and Jota has done nothing as it stands. Now then, let's try and find Brett Mollison, seen as... right, just blimey. How many people are in this league? So Brett's 72nd. 10 points so far, so he's going to have David Luiz coming in for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Gone with a 3-5-2. Salah captain. Wan-Bissaka will come in for Digne. And let's have a look at who he transferred in this week, because he's done one. I'm assuming he brought back in Son, which would make... got rid of Ali and brought in Son, yeah. I'd have potentially have held the transfer, but always worth a risk when it comes down to all this. Like at the moment, it's all seems to have gone a bit quiet at the moment. So in our league, there's 80 players, and there's still 2, 4, 6, a further 8 more players to join the league. That's a hell of a knot at the moment. So let's get back on to see what's going on regarding everything, all football at the moment. But like I said, there's nothing much going on as it stands. And do you know what? I'm going to quickly look at what's actually happening regarding statistics in all our games. So I'm going to start with, I think I'll start with United Burnley, seeing as it's my team. And let's just see what's going on in that game particularly. I can't really see it being that end-to-end. I did predict a 3-0 win to United, although I still think that from a game point of view, I thought it'd be really tight. And, we've had the 1 shot on target to United's 1 off target. Although, as you'd expect, United dominating the possession there, 68% to 32. So you can see straight away there that it's been quite a tight game so far, but not long has actually been played. It's only been 16 minutes played so far. That's what you'd expect, really. On to City game. Let's find out what's going on that particular scoreline. So obviously Sergio Aguero scoring the only goal so far after the first minute. And that's the only shot they've had on target, but they're absolutely dominating possession at the moment, 70% so far. And yeah, I mean, the City steam train just continues rolling on, really, and now they can just relax. Let's have a look at the Wolves game. It's 0-0 so far against West Ham. Let's look at the most basic statistics as it stands right now. Already been a yellow card after 32 minutes. The Romain Sass, I believe he scored. So Wolves have actually had 3 shots off target and 1 shot on target. Although West Ham are dominating with the possession as it stands right now. Which, as you'd expect, seeing as Wolves like to do the old counter-attack. Arsenal-Cardiff, obviously a game that Dan's watching as it stands right now. Still 0-0. Oh, what a surprise. Nacho Monreal getting his standard yellow card. And both teams having 2 shots off target. So City have just had a goal ruled offside at the moment. Kevin De Bruyne sending in a free kick, but it's been ruled offside, whoever got the final touch. So let's just quickly have a look at what's being said in the old... It's like Jason said, when you get to a certain point and not much things is going on here, it's very difficult to really go into detail about what's going on. Especially, like I said, I know I'm fully aware that I'm doing this solo and it's quite difficult to look at the chat and whatnot. I mean, I'll see if this will work at the moment. It may work, you never know. If I click on the old icon here and surprise... Oh, here we are. Live chat, all chats are visible. Kevin De Bruyne, so FPL Boona, he's live in the chat at the moment, is on a yellow card, he says. What are we going on here? Jota just missed a big chance. And there's been a goal scored. Jack Gleeson straight away on the old live chat there as I'm just clicking through at the moment. I wonder who scored. I wonder if it will come up as we speak right now. As live score kind of tries to load up, but nothing's going on here. Let's click on the old final score app, see if anything's going on here. Absolutely nothing coming up at the moment. I don't know what's going on here. There seems to be nothing appearing on anything. Nothing on the radios going on. So I don't know if that's just me reading something. Yes! Mate, so I'm assuming then basically Jack was trolling. I say trolling me. I can't even read what on earth is going on at the moment. To be honest with you, unless, like I said, if I click on the icon here and see if I can. Oh, nothing here at the moment. It doesn't really matter, does it? Nothing's going on there as it stands. So yeah, everything 0-0 at the moment. And I think what I'll do is I'll just quickly look at, like I said, the next game week ahead. So as it stands right now, I've personally got 2 double game week players in Richarlison and Sterling. I'm captaining Sterling so far, but it looks like I will probably do the moves of Aubameyang to Aguero, and it's then going to be whatever combination I can do to be bringing in another City asset. Now, a lot of people are saying that, well, aren't you worried about the game week 27 blank? Well, my team is basically at a loss straight away when it comes to the blank. And I'm already at a loss regarding it. So if we look at game week 27, as it stands now with City and Everton blanking. So I'll have 1 player from the Cardiff Watford game, and Kika Firmini if he's not injured. West Ham I've got nobody. Fulham I've got nobody. Burnley and Spurs I've got nobody. Bournemouth and Wolves. So Wolves I've got 3 players at least. So that's 4 players available. Newcastle Huddersfield 0. Leicester Crystal Palace 0. Arsenal would be my direct swap back from Aguero to Aubameyang. So that's 5. That's 5 players, along with Kolasinac. That's 6. Man United 7-8 with Rashford and Pogba, and of course Liverpool. So I'd have 10 players in. Oh, and Lindelof. I forgot I had Lindelof. So actually, I'd have a full 11 for blank game week 27. That is a fantastic result for me. So actually, I can potentially take advantage of this double game week by bringing in 3 City assets and maybe actually upgrading my team full stop. The problem is, though, is the simple fact that I don't know what other Man City asset I can bring in. So I'll have 0.2 in the bank, and there are no City defenders that are, apart from Danilo, but I just don't think that Danilo will start 2 of the 3 of the 2 games that are in charge. Although, looking at his pure stats at the moment regarding starts, he's actually started the last 6, including today. And you know what? For 5.1, I think he's worth a punt. For me to have 3 City assets ahead of a double game week, I could get rid of Kolasinac, who I won't be playing in this game week. And it's like a famous, a more popular fantasy asset, fantasy podcaster said, which is quite simply this. If you're not going to play a player, that means 0 points. But if you're going to bring in a double game week player, the likelihood of them starting a minimum of 1 is quite high. So actually Danilo could bring me in a minimum of 2 points, which is better than 0. So looking at this right now, thinking logically, I could do a live transfer right now for free, and my double game week team would be Begovic. So Jack Gleeson is saying that he could do a straight swap to Begovic to Ederson. Do it. That is something I wish I could do. I would love to be able to do Patrizio to Ederson. Ederson's only 5.6 for a guaranteed starter. I think, Jack, go for it. I think absolutely do that move, because at least it's a guaranteed starter for the double game week. Because the biggest debate at the moment regarding this double game week 25 is, of course, who starts. And let's be honest here. When we look at it, you've got Man City versus Arsenal. City are going to play their full strength squad. They're going to play Aguero, they're going to play Sterling, they're going to play Sane. That is a simple fact. The question is, who's going to play in defence? Well, based on what we kind of know as it stands, I would say it would be Laporte, Walker, Stones and Danilo. Mendy is still a complete risk. He's 6.1 as well, so for me, I ain't going to be bringing him in full stop. And as Jack made this point, if he isn't going to be even starting against Burton and he's just left on the subs bench, then why would he be brought in to the Premier League? He was eased back in against, I think he played a few minutes against us in the FA Cup. I'm not quite sure at the moment. But yes, I agree with Jack. So Jack's just saying there, I'd love to have a positive message from Pep regarding Mendy. I completely agree with you here. And I'll look at your team in a second, actually, Jack, and just see what you could potentially do. But yeah, I mean, I feel like making the transfers now, if I'm honest with you. I feel like doing for free Aubameyang out for Aguero and Kolasinac out for Danilo. I'd then carry over my transfer for free in obviously game week 25, or game week 26, sorry. So then I'd have 2 free transfers for game week 20, blank game week 27. And I could then bring in the Arsenal double up back of Kolasinac and Aubameyang, because I think that they'll drop down in price. And I have a gut feeling that I could make a profit on this. So yeah, this is going to be very, very interesting for me, making this decision live tonight, because if I do this, I'm running the risk of potential injury to Danilo or Aguero or anybody else in my team. But those double game week fixtures look so tempting at the moment. Right now, you can't let up on it. So let's just quickly recap over the scores as it stands right now. So Arsenal 0-0 with Cardiff. Fulham are losing 2-0 against Brighton. Glenn Murray double up, and of course Dan famously owned Murray for quite a while and was getting him some differential points. Everton still 1-0 up against Huddersfield. Wolves 0-0 against West Ham. I'll take that now. I'll take that for the clean sheet for Patrizio. United and Burnley still 0-0. And Man City still 1-0 up tomorrow evening. This evening. So yeah, it's going to be one of those. I don't know if Jason, if you're still in the chat, just let me know. And maybe we could do the second half together. I could just cancel this stream and we can do it on Skype. So if you're there now, mate, let me know and I will happily cancel this stream. Not much has happened since I started, so I seem to jinx the goals when it comes to these live reactionary pods, because if you remember the last one that I did, I think there were about 2 goals scored in a total of 20-25 minutes when I last did this. And then when Jason did his one, he had about 35 goals go in in the last 20 minutes of his game week. And it's one of those where I feel that, yeah, I'm just completely jinxing this whole thing at the moment. It's just absolutely crazy. Just nothing's happening at the moment. Everybody seems to have somehow put up some defensive brick walls at the moment. So I'm just going to quickly look over the statistics in the Newcastle United game at the moment. Let's find out what's going on there. If anything of difference has happened. No, seems like quite a tight game. It looks more like a passing game to me at the moment. Can't quite work out what's what. And let's just quickly find out what's going on in there. Well, Jason's there. I can see he's chatting away, or he's sent an emoji anyway. Of course, to allow everybody to know that you're there at the moment. Still nothing going on at the moment. I'll just quickly look at United Burnley, see what's going on in that straight away at the moment. Dan yellow flagged. No, he's not. He's basically watching the Arsenal game, and he doesn't want to miss any of the action. So again, like the Newcastle game, United dominating possession, but not really doing much regarding shots. Had one shot on target and 2 shots off target. Us, we've had 1 shot on target and 1 shot off, which, as it stands, like I said to Jason, it's going to be a tight game. Now, if we look at the score predictions that me and Jason did the other day, so I went Arsenal to win 4-0, Jason 3-0. 0-0 so far. Very sombre moment, we all know, regarding Salah, that appears to have, passed away. And let's be honest here, Neil Warnock, Cardiff fans, everybody just doesn't really care about this match. And, I know it's a football game. I'm sure that the authorities may look into something regarding the passing of a player and what to do about the following game, because obviously Leicester had that situation regarding their owner as well, and obviously they played the match ironically against Cardiff, and that ended up a stale 0-0 as well. So Fulham Brighton, I went with a 2-1 victory to Brighton. It's 2-0 Brighton at the moment. Jason went 2-0 to Fulham. So Huddersfield Everton, I went with a 2-1 victory to Huddersfield, and Jason went the reverse to Everton, 2-1 to Everton. Wolves West Ham, I went 1-1. Jason went 2-1 to West Ham. United Burnley, I went 3-0. Jason went 2-0. And Newcastle Man City, I went 4-0. Jason went 3-0. But at the moment, as it stands, there is just nothing to suggest we're going to come anywhere near those correct scores, apart from myself predicting the 2-1 victory to Brighton at the moment. So let's go and quickly have a look at the points so far. Let's yeah, I agree with you, FPL Booner. I just mentioned a few seconds ago that I seem to have jinxed anything regarding me doing live reactionary pod, because the last time I did this, I think I had the privilege to cover 2 goals, maybe 1 goal, and tonight I've had the privilege of reacting to 4 goals, which all happened with quite literally within the space of 5 minutes. Since then, Capping Gaming is in live chat. Good afternoon. You're doing a live stream, aren't you? Oh, what's going on here? Yeah, so I'll quickly go and look at the live points as it stands right now. I'm pretty sure that I'm on 14 points at the moment, but the question is, I always look at who we got left to play, and I know I'm going to be in a lot of the same boat as a lot of people, so all I've got is Salah and Robertson tomorrow evening. So not that many at all. So really, I'm stating the obvious here, the majority of my points are going to be coming tomorrow. This evening. So whatever I get this evening is going to be my total there. Let's have a look at the Torbay Elite Fantasy. So we'll look at Jason's team straight away. He is on, as it stands, 6 points, Jason. But as I stated, Richarlison is going to come on for Martial. So that takes him up to 12 as it stands right now at half time. Bennett will come on for Digne. And that is it. That is what's going to be happening so far. at the moment. And then tomorrow evening, he's going to have Salah and Wan-Bissaka playing. So again, 2 players playing, but again, he's got points coming off the bench, which I always say this. It just seems to happen always to the top players that their bench always seems to have points coming off, whereas players like myself have absolutely nothing coming off. And when we do have points on the bench, they're never available to go through. So I'll move down to Darren Monday to see what he's got at the moment. So he's got 6 points as well. He's going to have 3 players playing tomorrow evening. 4 players, in fact. So I always look at this and I think to myself, right, what is going to be going on here? Dan says that it has been a terrible first half from Arsenal. Yes, I can imagine that. I just looked at the statistics a minute ago and it appears that it just looks like it's a somber evening regarding what appears to be the loss of the player that they signed originally, Salah, and unfortunately, as we all know, was involved in that horrific plane crash. Let's be honest here. And hello there from Cappin's gaming stream. This is no. The irony is, of course, is that I can barely read any of the chat itself, as this is just me doing a solo live reactor pod. There is no information. I'm fully aware of that on the screen at the moment. That's going to be tomorrow evening. So, in fact, while it's half time, I'll let you guys know what's going on tomorrow evening. So tomorrow evening, the 3 of us, so that's myself, Jason and Dan, we will be going through the final moments. Well, basically, we'll be covering the second half of tomorrow evening's games. And yeah, Dan, statistics suggest that is a terrible game. Unlucky. Any predictions on what you think the score will be, Dan? Just a pure interest there. Because at the moment, it just looks like it's going to end 0-0. Which is good for me because I have Kolasinac as my defender playing in the game. So yes, what we're planning on doing is going through the second half of tomorrow evening's games. So as we all know what games are being played tomorrow evening, we'll just quickly go through that. Obviously, we know it's Bournemouth versus Chelsea. Chelsea coming off that 2-0 victory versus... Was it 3-0? I can't even remember now. I think it was 2-0 in the FA Cup. Higuain, a lot of talk that he did actually okay in that match. So that's going to be in fact, this is going to be the real tester for Higuain to see how he links up with Hazard and how Hazard does with Higuain as an inker. Southampton, Crystal Palace, a lot of people will have either Wan-Bissaka coming off the bench. They've either decided to actually play him. I just don't see they're going to be a clean sheet. I think it's going to be a bit of, if it was a betting game, goals galore in that. I personally went with 2-1, but Jason went with a 1-0 victory to Crystal Palace. We've also got our captain Salah playing against Leicester. Leicester at the moment doing really, really bad. And of course, Spurs versus Watford. So yeah, that's the plan tomorrow evening. Myself, Dan and Jason will have the full presentation up with the live chat on the right hand of the screen. Obviously the usual 3 of us on the left. See what's going on. We'll obviously discuss what happened this evening. And then on Thursday evening, myself, Dan and Jason will be doing a transfer deadline day special to see what's going on. But let's be honest here, so far in the transfer window, it's been very, very quiet. The only transfers off the top of my head of any interest regarding FPL has been Nathaniel Klein going on loan to Bournemouth. Quite an interesting move. Higuain, obviously, the big move to Chelsea at the moment. Solanke, yeah, Dan. Solanke to Crystal Palace, yeah. To Bournemouth, of course, yeah. The player that has been injured for about a year somehow passes a medical and he's... Oh, what a coincidence. He's injured and can't start for Bournemouth. And I believe Eddie Howe came out today and said that he's doing well in training at the moment, but he won't be starting. Absolutely fantastic there. And yeah, the news of Cedric leaving Southampton. I was mistaken for what Jason was saying in the last podcast where he was talking about Wan-Bissaka. I thought he was talking about Cedric, but yeah, Cedric leaving Southampton, which was a bit of a surprise considering he's a Portuguese international and they've let him go. I can see there's a lot of activity in the chat. I'm glad with that because you can all chat with each other while I just continue basically talking to myself regarding all things fantasy football at the moment as it stands and our schedule. So yes, tomorrow evening, like I said, we will be reacting live to the second half of the games, the 4 fixtures involved. Thursday, we're doing a transfer day deadline. I have no idea how this is going to work. We don't know when we're going to be doing it whatsoever. Hopefully there'll be some interesting moves to talk about, but let's be honest here, it never happens. Very rare that anything big happens. The only one off the top of my head I can think of right now was when, what was his name? Robinho? Was it Robinho came to Man City? That was like at the stroke half time underneath Mark Hughes from what I remember. So yeah, I think the biggest talking point tomorrow evening, to be honest with you, will be what happens with Son. I think that will be the one that we'll mostly be discussing tomorrow evening regarding the team news there. So yeah, and then Saturday afternoon, we're thinking of, and again, don't quote me on this, obviously we will advertise through our Instagram page and Twitter page. So if you'd like to follow us on Instagram or Twitter, it is both at Elite FPL. I'm sure Dan or Jason, they're in the chat at the moment, can just type up our Instagram and Twitter pages. We are very active on there, predominantly advertising our material for obvious reasons, but we do like to get involved regarding speaking to others, giving advice to people having trouble picking their teams, what next to do and what not. And then on Sunday evening, we're back to it. It's going to be reacting live to the schedule, really. I mean, everything's coming quick and fast. And what have we got to look forward to on Saturday and Sunday? So, well, of course, it's the double game week. Thank you, Jason. There. If anybody wants to follow us on Instagram or Twitter, it's at EliteFPL or at EliteFPL on Twitter for obvious reasons. If anybody's watching this now, do we have a Facebook? No. Facebook. Well, actually, I believe Dan set up one, but we're not active on that whatsoever. We are more active on Instagram and Twitter, to be honest with you. And that's the reality of it. We are active on Instagram and Twitter only. Or on YouTube, of course. Now, if anybody's watching this stream right now in the live chat and hasn't subscribed to our channel and would like to, hit the subscribe button if you'd like. Thank you, Jason. There's the Facebook group if you'd like to join into that. Like I said, this is just myself, a bloke sitting in his bedroom, seeing what's going on regarding all things Premier League and how it's affecting our fantasy teams as we speak. The downside is the fact that, number one, there's no presentation up front. I get that. But tomorrow evening, if you want to get the whole experience for live score updates right on your screen, live chat, interaction, then I suggest you join us tomorrow evening at 9 PM UK time, and myself, Jason and Dan will be going live then. But to get all information and whatnot, head over to our Instagram page and Twitter page. Sorry to be advertising all this now, but I may as well get it out of the way while we're all waiting for the second half to kick off. Hit that subscribe button, like I said. If you're enjoying what you're watching at the moment, again, it's just me. I'm just one of the three hosts that normally do this. Dan and Jason are in the live chat now, and if you have any questions for Dan or Jason to answer, by all means, ask away, speak to them. I can see there's a lot of activity at the moment in the chat. Thank you to Capping Gaming, who I am fully aware has just done a live stream. I don't know if he's just quickly heading over briefly while it's half time at the moment, but really, really appreciate the support. Thank you very much. Now, we should be coming up to the second half of the games in a minute, any moment now. But yeah, it's going to be a really, really interesting double game week 25, because we're going to preview it obviously on Sunday evening, looking ahead to it. And obviously the main talking point is going to be, do we use one of our chips to load up on double game week assets? The simple answer is, I think you'd be mad to use the free hit wild card to bring in 6 double game week players. The other chip that's going to be talked about a lot of is going to be the triple captain chip. Now, I'm not a, what's the word? I can't even think of the word at the moment. It's not a predictor. It's someone with a crystal ball. I'm sure someone can help me out here, but I haven't got a crystal ball. But I'm normally quite good at just predicting points. Yeah, triple captain Edison. Do you know what? We all laugh, but most of the time, since the triple captain has been introduced as a chip, it has been an absolute failure for most. I always remember when I triple captained Andy Carroll a couple of seasons ago. And that was back in the day when, you know, double game weeks were, you know, I think one a season or whatnot. And I always try and save my chips each season till the very, very last moment. And that failed miserably. I remember triple captaining Aguero, I think, last season for the double game week. I can't remember. I can't even remember. That was another. I think he got 1 goal, and that was it. So this game week, double game week 25, which of course, like I said, is the biggest talking point at the moment. It's who are you going to triple captain? Will it be Sterling, Sane, or Aguero? Purely based on form, I would go with Sane, purely based on form. However, tonight, he's done nothing so far in one half. Admittedly, that's one half of tonight's football. But if he was to continue his streak of continuously... So, thankfully, it ended 0-0 at half-time between United and Burnley. I'm very, very happy with that. I'm very happy with that indeed. That's fantastic so far. And you know what? Let's have a look at the stats here again. Let's just quickly finish off looking at the stats and let's just see what is going on here regarding this match. This is Burnley versus Man United, and it just looks like the standard Burnley match. The opposition is just taking pot shots at us, and Tom Heaton's probably going to be having the game of his life as I speak. So it's just a case of, it's like I said in the preview for this game week, I thought that it'll be very tight. Although I did say that I think it'll probably be something like 2-0 up to the death, and then they may nick and get 1 goal. But I was also thinking maybe 2 game, but so far I'm very happy with that result. But it's only half time, still got 45 minutes to go. So yeah, looking at the statistics ahead of this double game week regarding Sane, Sterling and Aguero. So, of quite literal raw data, as they say, So, as it stands, over the last 5 game weeks, Sterling, that's including this game week, Sane has returned in 3 of the 5 that he started. So one of the matches was against Southampton, and he only made a 6-minute cameo. So he got nothing in that. But then he played Liverpool at home, got 10 points. Wolves at home, 8 points. Huddersfield away, 12. So obviously, for me personally, what I always like to look at is how these players perform either at home or away. Well, simply put, looking at the data just directly in front of me now, which is what the screen I've got, which basically is showing me game weeks 9 to 24, which is obviously today's game. So let's just take 24 aside. So game weeks 9 to 23, Sane looks like an excellent pick to not only captain, but to possibly triple captain in this double game week. His scores are absolutely superb, and he can score either at home or away from home. It doesn't seem to bother him. Whereas if we look at someone like Sterling, and I think most of the people know this already, but Sterling's main points come at home. And looking at exactly what Sane's been doing regarding the last 5 game weeks. So actually Sterling's returns have been a bit more steady at the moment, and he's got 0 points. He hasn't got a yellow card in this game, has he? Hello, what's going on here? Possibly penalty at Fulham? It is. It's a goal to Fulham, and I'm just looking at this. Still a goal to Fulham. Here we go. Who got the goal? Who got the assist? That's the main question. Chambers, and no one got an assist. Ha! Who had Chambers? There was somebody in our mini league, in the Elite FPL mini league, that had Chambers. I can't remember who it was. So Sterling got a yellow card tonight. Unbelievable. What's going on? It's Newcastle. Yellow card against them. So straight away I'm a bit like, oh, I've got to get Sane in somehow. In fact, the question is, for most people, can you get Sane in? Well, if you've got Hazard in your team, that's the most easiest swap possible. But if you haven't got him, and you've got players like mine, like, well, not necessarily Richarlison, but Pogba, it's going to be very, very difficult. So yeah, Sterling's returns over the last 5, 6-5, 6-10, and today so far 0. Not really the greatest returns, but steady. Keyword being steady returns there. So actually looking at it, it looks like to me that Sane is going to be the best captaincy option against Everton and Arsenal. Now obviously Aguero, someone else to look at the moment, scored tonight. He's just come back from injury. He's an easy swap from Aubameyang to Aguero. A very easy swap, in fact. Let's have a look at what kind of returns he could give you if we're playing it like this. Yeah, in the last 4 matches, 5 matches in fact, he's returned 3 goals, including today, and 1 assist. So quite clearly, a bit like Sterling in a way, you've got a steady points returner. So it's really a case of, if you've got Sane, captain him. Just captain him. That's as simple as it gets. Now I'm now worried that I can't get Sane in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can somehow fit Sane into my team. The only way I could do this is by getting rid of, he's 9.7, that's the issue. And I'm only going to have, if I got rid of Pogba, 8.8. So it's then a case of right, okay, how do I make up the money? Well, the only premium defender I have got that I'd be reluctantly wanting to get rid of is Robertson, which takes my total to 15.3. Now, if I was to bring Sane in, that leaves me with, yeah, add player, let's get on with it, let's get moving. If we add Sane into it gives me with 5.6. So, if we're looking at the options that I had beforehand, it's a case of, right, James Collins has just scored, is that right? Is that right? James Collins has scored versus Wolves? What's going on? No? Maybe I'm mishearing something. I've just heard James Collins has done something, but I don't know what's going on here. Yes, I am daily. I am using the PS4. That's all I've got. It's great, isn't it? So, so yes. Back to the dilemma that I've got here. It's a simple case of who do I treble up on Man City? Well, the easiest thing that I could do is by getting rid of Aubameyang, getting rid of Kolasinac, bringing in Aguero and Danilo for free, and then in game week 27, blank game week, I will have back Aubameyang and I could bring back Kolasinac. But looking like I just said at the stats right now, I think that Sane is going to be essential for this particular game week. Now, Jack Gleason has just asked, what do I think on Kevin De Bruyne as a differential? The simple answer is you've just answered your own point. He's going to be a differential. The problem is how is this player performing as we know of right now since coming back from injury? Well, in the FA Cup against us lot, he got 2 assists and a goal. Against Burton, he scored the only goal of the game, I believe, in the 1-0 victory. Oh no, that was Aguero. I can't remember what happened. I can't remember what happened against Burton, but Dean, you're on. Wow. Why on earth has Dean come on? What on earth is going on here? Baines injured? Well, Jason is very... Anybody with... Well, Jason especially is really... What is going on there? So if anybody knows why Dean's come on, please speak in the chat, because I would have no idea why he come on. Unless Leighton Baines has got injured or he wants to shore up his defence and just see out this game 1-0 just to get a victory. But going back to Jack's point about Kevin De Bruyne, I think since coming back from injury in the Premier League, what he has done so far hasn't been particularly outstanding, but what do we expect here? So, since coming back from injury in game week 17, so game week 17 he came back, he has scored 1 goal and got 1 assist. Now, his minutes has obviously been managed in the Premier League. He didn't play against Southampton or Liverpool. He played 28 minutes against Wolves, and funny enough, the goal that he scored against Crystal Palace was in a 28-minute cameo as well. So I think that Kevin De Bruyne would be for someone in your position, Jack. I don't think he's worth the risk. I would highly... Yeah, it's still 0-0 Wolves and West Ham. I don't know where that information came from regarding James Collins there. Maybe a disallowed goal. I don't know whatsoever. But I think if I look at your team, Jack, not that you're wanting to listen to my advice. I mean, this is just pure Steve-O speculation regarding anything. So you've got Sterling in your team at the moment. If I was you, I would get rid of Hazard. I personally think that it all depends on. It really depends on who they're playing next. And they've got Huddersfield at home. Who have United got? United away at Leicester, and you've got 1.2 in the bank, like you mentioned in the chat earlier. Oh, you've got a dilemma. I would, if I was in your shoes, I'd get rid of Hazard. Just for the simple fact that. So I'm just reading in the chat now. Hazard has Richarlison has missed a penalty. Okay. Wow. Interesting. What? Really? There's nothing that's been put up. I don't know if Jack's having a bit of fun and trolling, but he's saying that Richarlison's missed a penalty. There's nothing that's come up on the radio or anything like that. But yeah, so going back to your team, Jack, I personally, just based on form alone, I'd get rid of Hazard. I'd get rid of him. And I would bring the FPL Booner saying that Jack trolling, brilliant, ban him. But Hazard, I would certainly get rid of and bring in Sane, and then it's just a case of right. Fulham have scored. It's 2-2. 2-2. Fulham have just scored. I don't believe it. So there we are. Oh, God. I don't know what's more annoying. The fact that they've just equalised, or the fact that I'm my prediction of the Brighton win has has potentially gone out the window. Thanks a bunch. So I don't know who scored for Fulham, but they've definitely scored. That's what I can tell you that for fact. Mitrovic, he's the scorer, is he? Oh no! Yes, the return of Mitrovic gets his one goal in the past. Well, let's have a look, shall we? When was the last time Mitrovic actually did anything regarding any attacking returns in fantasy football? This is going to be quite interesting to look at. So he's not even on the first page of the forwards regarding. So he's on the second page. He's just gone and scored just now. So as we bring up the information right now, let's just see. Oh, he last scored against Huddersfield. Of course, that was that penalty, wasn't it? The 1-0. But since then, my goodness. The last time he returned anything since Huddersfield, which was in game week 20, he returned an assist against Leicester. And yeah, my goodness. He has done absolutely nothing for the majority of this season. Only really most of his points came in the first 6-7 games, I suppose. In fact, let's just quickly find out when he did get the majority of his points. When everybody, of course, jumped on the bandwagon, which made complete sense. Yeah, the first 13 game weeks. So quite literally, the half season of these first 24 game weeks. The first half, he's just done. He did really, really well. He predominantly in game weeks 1 to 6, where he scored 5 goals and got an assist, and he got an incredible 16 points against who? You guessed it, Burnley. Thank you very much. the point withstanding is that has Mitrovic returned? Simple answer is no. But yeah, so going back to it, Jack, I would just bring in Sane for your team. It's quite simple, really. I can't see why you wouldn't want to bring him in. The question for me, however, is do I get rid of Aubameyang or do I get rid of Pogba? Do you know what? I think personally, God, it's a tough one, isn't it? This is a tough one for me. To bring in Aubameyang, to get rid of Aubameyang for Aguero, or get rid of and Kolasinac for Danilo, or bring in Sane for Pogba and Danilo for Robertson. This is going to be a really tough decision. Do you know what? considering price rises and price drops, and let's be honest here, if Aubameyang does nothing tonight, the whole planet is going to jump onto the Aguero bandwagon. And in fact, if we look at the homepage of... So already, at the moment, as it stands, Aguero has already been brought in by 3,622 players. Aubameyang has been transferred out by virtually the same, so 3,487. That's just a half time. So already I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, right, there is a possibility that Aubameyang may drop in price tonight and Aguero may go up. It's unlikely to happen because you need, I don't know how many, I don't know how down, but do you think the best pulling of a -4 to go I would need to get in? That looked like an interesting question there from the Daily Llama. So let's just quickly read what the Daily Llama has to say. Do you think I'm best doing a -4 to get in Sane? I would need to move out Richarlison. Of course, the thing decides to crash on me the second that comes up. And it's just completely disappeared. The point, that's a tough one. To get rid of a double game week player in Richarlison to bring in a better player, I would, if I was you, Daily Llama, here it is now. It's now going away. I think personally, it looks like Sane could be a must. So it seems that actually, God, this is more of a decision regarding who to get rid of in your midfield to bring in Sane. Now you may be wondering why I'm constantly banging on about Sane at the moment. Well, the simple answer is this. He's the informed Man City player, barring tonight. So far he's done nothing tonight. Penalty at the Emirates. So here we go. Here we go, which basically means, so Kolasinac has been fouled, and I would assume that Aubameyang's going to take the penalty here. So Aubameyang's going to take the penalty. So this simply quickly means that if Aubameyang scores, I'm going to get double attacking returns from my Arsenal players because I have Kolasinac and Aubameyang, which are my differentials. That's the key for me. They are my differential. Now, of course, Etheridge has a very good record at saving penalties. And this is going to be one of these where could Etheridge continue his... Here we go. He scored. Get in. So straight away, the relief. Straight away. So, all those people that have a Burnley goal, what is going on here? Everybody's going mental in the chat. Let's quickly look up what's going on. What is going on? But of course, that means that I've lost my clean sheet for Lindelof. It's so typical, isn't it? That is extraordinary. My dad's just messaged in. Ashley Barnes, the player that everybody was bringing in as that cheap budget player. I said at the time, he is definitely somebody to be bringing in as a. I think he's 5.6. Let's have a quick look at Ashley Barnes at the moment. Let's just quickly see how much he is at the moment. And 1-0. Oh, this is. Well, here we go now. It's going to be attack, as they say. 5.6, Ashley Barnes. You know, he's a very, very good striker. He's that Rockweiler. That little thing that will just run all day long. And absolutely soup. What is going on? Absolutely. And what is this? The chat is going mad again. And genius. It can't be right. And Molyneux, there's been a goal. I think someone has just... Here we go. I think I read Sace. Sace? I don't know who specifically has scored here at the moment, so I believe it's Sace based on the conversation that's going on in chat at the moment. Bloody hell, what's going on here? All the goals seem to be going in the first few minutes of the second half, and then it's all going to go quiet. But let's have a quick check. So it's just been updated now, the game, and yes, Romain Sace. Who? Wow. Absolutely. What is going on here? So let's just have a quick recap of the scores as it stands right now. Arsenal have just gone 1-0 up against Cardiff. Aubameyang penalty. Kolasinac assist. Fulham 2-2 with Brighton. Coming back down from 2-0. Mitrovic in there with a goal. Glenn Murray scoring twice. And Chambers. And we've just heard that Digne has just been sent off. Jason, you must be... How ironic's this? So, a lot of people had Digne not playing. They would have had some form of points coming off the bench. He's just come on. He's been sent off. And now he's going to be a minus points. And now... The funny thing is that Jason originally had 0 overall coming off the bench, so to speak. So naturally, because of that Digne red card, he's actually completely, that is completely backfired on him, and now he's worse off than when he would. So I laughed at him for not having any points coming off the bench regarding Digne not playing, and now I'm laughing because Digne is now going to get -2. Am I right in saying? Let's have a quick find out at the moment as we just quickly skip over to the fantasy footballs. Blimey, it's all kicking off at the moment. This is all chat at the moment. So that means obviously someone's just mentioned in the chat just now that Digne is going to miss the next 3 games. Well, now, has that made it easy for people to bring in a Man City asset? Well, depending obviously on the price that you brought Digne in, he's 5.3 at the moment. So, is it going to be one of those where Digne is going to be downgraded to Danilo? That would seem the logical move to me. Now that Digne isn't going to play, it's going to be one of those where Digne could be an instant swap to Danilo. Now the funny thing, now it all depends obviously on how much money you've got in the bank. I understand all this. But, I mean, going back to the double game week, I'm sorry to keep going on about it, but I think it's very important to discuss. Because there's just so many options to choose from. And the fact that Aubameyang scored, ironically, has now kind of helped me in a way because I don't have to panic about getting rid of him so soon. So for me, I was almost happy to bring Digne... I was almost happy to do a live transfer as I'm chatting regarding Aubameyang out for Aguero, and then Kolasinac out for Danilo. But all of a sudden, things have changed where I don't need to be looking at this anymore. And it's one of those where actually the fact that Kolasinac has got an assist, and funnily enough, I was reading on a popular forum site that Kolasinac's last 4 home games, he has returned points. Well, it's a home game today. He's got an assist. So far, he's going to get a clean sheet, it looks like. I don't want to jinx it, but I'm happy with the fact that he's got an assist so far. And it's one of those where actually, so far this evening, everything is going personally my way. The fact that Digne has been sent off for 1, that is a massive plus, because now people are going to have to do an emergency transfer. Now, admittedly, they're probably going to do an emergency transfer to... Oh, hello, what's going on here? Concerning news, apparently in Molineux. Arnautovic sounds like he's gone down. Oh dear, oh dear. So the player in which everybody keeps going on about, Mark Arnautovic, it looks like he's in a lot of pain at the moment, and it looks like he's going to be stretchered off. So, Mark Arnautovic, he's only just come back from injury. He's just signed a contract with West Ham, and it looks like he's going away injured on a stretcher. Oh dear. And it looks like Wolves are... it looks like Wolves are going to be winning this game 1, maybe 2-0. I don't want to jinx it or anything. The simple fact that I have Patrizio in goal. But right now I'm on 34 points. And it's one of those where the good news is the fact that it's my differentials, certainly in a Kolasinac, that's come through. I just can't believe we're 1-0 up at United. That is, and it's funny enough, Jack Gleeson always liked. He mentioned in the interview podcast that we did with him that he liked the history, and it's the fact that our last 2 meetings at Old Trafford have ended in a draw. So it's one of those, Fabianski injured and potentially needing subbing. Well, it's the same match, so it looks like Fabianski's being stretched, but I've just been listening on the radio, they're talking about Arnautovic as well. So maybe people in the chat will be able to chat with each other regarding any clarification on what's going on here. But I was just hearing on the radio now that Arnautovic is the one that's it looks like to be quite badly injured. But I don't know what is going on at the moment. This is, in fact, let's have a quick look over at Live Score. Let's just quickly look at what on earth is going on in this Wolves game, because it just seems to be all kicking off at the moment. Oh, Fulham have just scored 3-2. Oh, absolutely unbelievable. Mitrovic scored again. It's a double. And I've just seen that, Jason. Ryan Bennett on a yellow card, but he's on my bench. But Mitrovic, big news, he's just scored. That's 2 goals now for his game tonight. 2 goals, and somebody maybe to look at. I don't think so. I don't think that anybody's really going to be interested in. But there's no information. So yeah, Fabianski has been injured. God, what on earth is going on tonight? It's all quite literally kicking off as it stands right now. So Fulham have just gone 3-2 up. Let's go and find out who got the assist. I don't think it would have even loaded up quite yet. What an incredible evening. What an absolutely incredible evening. We, Burnley, are winning 1-0 over at United. City just holding on to that 1-0 lead at the moment over Newcastle. Wolves 1-0 up, but sounds like West Ham are suffering some severe injuries here, with Fabianski and potentially Arnautovic going off injured. Fulham just going up, just scoring just now. Mitrovic making it 3-2 to Fulham. And Arsenal, like I said, my double up of Kolasinac getting the assist for the penalty and Aubameyang converting that penalty, which is absolutely ideal for myself. So I'm just going to quickly look at what's going on live at the league table of the Torbay Elite Mini League, which I take, and obviously me and Jason take very seriously. So I always instantly look at the differentials and who's going to come on potentially as subs and whatnot. And Fabianski, how many save points? 2 save points. He's made 6. Bloody hell. Wolves must be absolutely dominating that game at the moment. So I always like looking at the differentials. So Connor Lee, He's got Firmino, Mane and Alonso as his differentials playing tomorrow evening. Nasri is a player that may potentially come as a sub tonight. At the moment, he's still not playing. So Wan-Bissaka would be coming on for him. So I'm kind of a bit worried about the fact that he's got a few differentials coming on for him to play. But he's on 31 points at the moment. Like I said, if we quickly look at my team, I think I just saw that I'm on 39 points as it stands right now. 39 points, and yeah, no actions so far. Very happy with that, which is pretty cool. 39 points there. So if we move on to Ben Towler's team, he's just above, well, I say just above me, he's about 40 points, 30 odd points ahead of me. He's on 34 points, but again, a couple of differentials. Firmino, he's going to have Ryan Bennett coming on for Martial. Digne, he's going to be disappointed with. So Digne got -2, and he's got Alisson in goal. So he's got a treble up of Liverpool there. And of course, he's got Sane playing at the moment. It's a bit annoying that he's got Kolasinac, but it doesn't really matter. Raheem Sterling has scored! Oh no, sorry. It's an advert. Brilliant, that's caught me out, hasn't it? Thanks a bunch. It was just an advert for a game. Brilliant. So if I look at Darren Monday's team, he's only on 11 points. But he, well, as I said, he's doing really, really bad today, Darren Monday. He had a lot of luck, but the majority of his players are actually going to be playing tomorrow evening. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players playing tomorrow. So he's on 11 points. And then if we look at Jason's team at the moment as it stands, I'm sure Jason's going to be doing really well at the moment. But see, he's on 16 points at the moment, Jason, as it stands. But he's going to have Richarlison and Bennett coming off the bench. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 13 points coming off the bench for him. And it's going to have bonus points with Richarlison, obviously. He's going to get the full 3. I'm assuming he is anyway. No, he's not. So as it stands right now, wow. As it stands right now, Richarlison is only going to get 1 point along with Zuma. Wow, so it's going to be Keane. There's another goal at Craven Cottage, and it's 4. Fulham have scored 4. Didn't quite hear who scored that then. I'm sure somebody will. I'm sure somebody will be able to tell me exactly what's going on regarding this game. But what I'll do is I'll just quickly go into the Elite FPL podcast, because obviously you guys are part of that are watching this. Let's just quickly have a look at what's going on regarding this Fulham game, because goal at Molineux. Yes, 2-0 to Wolves. Oh, Jimenez has scored. Hey, the player that everybody owns, he has scored. Raul Jimenez has scored. The case is, who got the assist? Who got the assist? So Vieto scored the 4th for Fulham. Would you believe that? Oh, Newcastle have just scored. Oh. Rondon of all Here's Man City keeping a, what is it, 4, 5, 6 clean sheets in a row, and they've gone to Newcastle. There's now 1. Isn't it amazing how everything turns with 1 goal just like that? I just can't get my head around this. This is just 1 half of the Nilo Essential. Yeah, yeah. Listen to Steve-O, everybody. Blimey O'Reilly. Let's see who got the assist for Jimenez. Well, it's saying nothing at the moment on there. I'll quickly load up the FPL site and let's just see if it brings up the assister for the Jimenez goal. But it's all kicking off right now. Doesn't that change everything for the double game week, everybody? It's crazy. Newcastle going scoring, and oh, the game still hasn't uploaded yet. That's blimey. So I'm looking at the Elite FPL podcast league as it stands, and it should be a thing. Not many of us do it. Yeah, just in answer to that Daily Llama. So Daily Llama is just basically saying about Aman Dillon is there. Hello, Aman Dillon. Hello there. So Daily Llama is just making a very simple point about live streams. Goal at the Emirates. Hey, 2-0. Lacazette scores. There we are. There we are. Lacazette goes and scores for the way we have. So, what was I saying? Yes, so Daily Llama has just simply asked in the chat regarding live streams during, well, game weeks. I've always said this, that the bigger this game gets, there will be a point at which the fantasy game will link up with the real life game. Bizarrely, I know it sounds really weird what I'm saying. It will have some kind of association with BT Sport and Sky Sports. And I'm telling you now, they will have live updates on the screen of matches. That will happen at some point. There are 6, I'm looking at it now, so there are 6.1 coming up to 6.2 million players playing this game. Now, obviously not all of them players are going to be active. But even if it was just 1 million players that took this game seriously and actively seek out this information and stuff, that's still 1 million people that will feel the need that actually, hold a minute here, if Sky Sports and BT Sport are doing live rank updates, I'm obviously talking about the overall ranks here, and point updates and stuff, I think it will happen one day. Now, obviously, Sky Sports do a Sky Sports Fantasy Football Club or something with Paul Merson. I've never watched it. Has no interest for me whatsoever. I don't have Sky Sports, but I don't think it's... Again, I can only comment on the fact that it's Paul Merson doing this along with whoever presents it, but I can't really see it being like, for example, the FPL show, as a simple example of professionalism when it comes to actually discussing statistics and whatnot regarding all things fantasy football. But yeah, Daily Llama, I agree. I think that this is all, it's growing, basically. So going back to the Elite FPL teams, so Jack Gleason will be pleased to know that Paul Wickett, as it stands, is on 13 points. He's going to get 4 points off the bench from Fabianski, who we believe, let's just have a quick look now, and let's just see if he has actually been taken off the pitch, because I just can't believe what's going on. If Arnautovic and Fabianski have both been... No, he hasn't, so Fabianski isn't injured. He may have pulled up with something, but he's clearly playing on. So Fabianski still plays. So 4 points are going to come off the bench for Paul Wickett. So he's going to be up to 17. But he's going to have, as a differential, Firmino and David Luiz playing tomorrow evening. So straight away, there's been a Wolves goal, according to Jason. And FPL Boone is telling me that Aubameyang assisted Lacazette. So what's that? Their 300th goal between them that they've scored and assisted. Incredible. Jimenez again, apparently. According to Daily Llama, Jimenez has scored for Wolves. Let's have a quick check of this. I'm sure it will all come up through. No, it hasn't quickly updated yet. Oh, yeah, there we are. So there we are. 3-0 to Wolves. Straight away. Let's find out who got the assist, unless you will know exactly who got the assist right now. Wow, Jimenez. Is Jimenez essential? Oh, wait a minute. Everybody actually owns him, so it doesn't Probably one of the best decisions I ever made, bringing in Jimenez. Now thinking about it. Good God. Here we are. Let's find out who got the... Oh, I suppose it hasn't even updated the game yet, will it? But... So yeah, I'll just quickly load up the game here. So I'll have it on Jack Gleason's team when it quickly loads up. And... So Jack's on 33 points. So instantly, Jack, you're going to be pleased to know that you're going to be going back top of the Elite FPL Podcast Mini League. So straight away, you are safe in the knowledge that you are going to be top. And it looks like it's going to come down to Hazard versus Firmino tomorrow evening regarding differentials. So when we look at this, so who got the assist? Jota. Jota's in with an assist. There we have it. I said to you before we started this, when we started this podcast, when I looked at the team news and everything, I said that Jota is... What's your total score on Elite FPL so far? Well, this isn't... so in answer to the individual's question that's just asked that, so that's George Az. So George Az has just asked, at Elite FPL are ranked. So usually, George, there are 3 of us doing a host. This is just purely for the fact that I'm going to be bored this evening. So I thought, you know what, rather than just constantly staring at my phone and checking updates and everything, I'm just going to do this. This isn't the full lineup or anything. We would have myself, Dan and Jason, who are the regular hosts. We'd have the full presentation up with the live chat, the 3 of us on screen and something in the middle. Usually it would be the match playing live, you know, like some imagery or whatever. But the point being is that there are actually 3 of us playing. So in answer to your point, you're going to be very impressed, I'd like to think. So in the Elite FPL Podcast League, which was only set up in just at the beginning of October before we really got any momentum. So the guy that's top at the moment, that's Paul Wickett, he is 163rd in the world. Okay? Jack Gleason is 225th in the world. And co-host Jason, he is 723rd in the world as it stands. Me personally, I am 23,000th in the world. Although I'm going to be going up and up because I'm just looking at my points. 48 points so far. Absolutely superb returns at the moment. Very, very happy with that indeed. That's all absolutely fantastic. I wonder if anything's happened so far. No, nothing as it stands. So let's continue looking at it. So yeah, and Dan is 128,000th, I believe. So yeah, let me just quickly read that message because I realised it was just a bit of fun. Let's just quickly we have I am 7,000th. 7,000th is very good. 7,000th is an excellent rank. So well done to you there, George. I remember being 7,000th a load of game weeks back. But unfortunately, I've been dropping like a fly, and then all of a sudden I've started picking up again, thanks to, well, bringing in Salah, let's be honest here. But the point being is that if you go up to, what's that, Brett Mollison, triple up, essential for United. Oh wait, it's Burnley, yeah. It's just one of those. Still got a long way to go. We've still got, if I look here now, still got 25 minutes for United to do something. Obviously, as a Burnley fan, I'm not. This is going to be bloody hell. We're coming to the end of games already. God, the time has flown. 9 minutes. I can't believe how long this has been going, but this is absolutely incredible. So the games are coming to an end at the moment in the 7:45 kickoffs, but we still got 25 minutes plus stoppage time regarding the. Both of the Manchester clubs, really, and lots of goals scored in these the last in tonight's games. Ironically, 2 of the biggest scoring teams in United and Man City have only scored 1 apiece. Well, have only scored 1 between them. and that's Man City drawing with Newcastle 1-1. So, going back to what George was asking, so the Elite FPL Podcast League, I remember somebody mentioning in the comments on our YouTube page, which was, right, your league is absolutely savage. I got 20 points above the average score, yet I still, in your league, dropped by 3 or 4 places. That's how incredibly difficult our mini league is at the moment. So I'm just going to quickly, while there are still people in the chat and everything, so just a quick reminder, Jack Gleeson, who is second in the Elite FPL League, only by 6 points. Oh, Cardiff has scored. I don't believe it. And the penalty to Newcastle. Wow, what is going on? Is Rondon going to score too? That's amazing. Matt Ritchie is going to take the penalty. All right, well, nobody owns him in fantasy football, so no one cares. Let's just turn the radio off and not have a clue what's going on here. I'll keep a bit quiet for a minute. Let's just turn the radio up. I don't know if you can hear it. All right, okay. Matt Ritchie, of course, he has to take... I've just quickly put the radio up. Let's just see what's going on. And that's probably going to get banned now from playing this tonight. But yeah, I completely agree. A complete crazy night. So yeah, just a quick reminder, Jack Gleeson, you will be going top of the Elite FPL after tonight. So well done to you there, mate. Well done. Absolutely fantastic effort. So we're just taking a while to take this penalty kick. We're all anticipating if Newcastle score. Absolutely extraordinary scenes here, but the poor wicket on 19 points and David Luiz and Firmino. Right, okay. So David Luiz and Firmino are going to be his quick replacements. So right, okay. Here we are. This is extraordinary, isn't it? All we want to do. 2-0 to Burnley. What is going on? And finally, we're right to get the penalty on the way. He scored. It's 2-1. This is just... I can't get my head around this. This is extraordinary. Burnley go 2-0 up against United. Castle. Do you know it's... Every season. I can't. This is amazing. I can't get... Jason has just said it in the chat. I cannot get my head around this game week. You can't get around it. Nor can I. Absolutely extraordinary scenes. Newcastle 2-1 up against City. Burnley 2-0 up against United. So Everton have officially beaten Huddersfield 1-0. They actually got a clean sheet. My goodness, what is going on? Well, Huddersfield are gone now. That is it. Huddersfield are down. I believe they were 8 points behind already, but with Fulham winning and Burnley winning, that is pretty much... In fact, I believe they do... Right, so as it stands in the league right now, I'm assuming this... Oh no, penalty to United. Oh, wait a minute, no. No, so the referee has pointed to the spot in the United game, but then he realised he's made a mistake, and now he looks like he's putting a free kick down. So there is no penalty for United. There's no penalty United. It's a free kick. Right, and I'm now getting nervous. Oh God. I'm now nervous listening in to a game which... So really, there we are. It's gone. There we are. So now we've got to hold out for 7 minutes plus stoppage time. But as ever with any game that Burnley play, there always seems to be about 25 minutes worth of stoppage time. So it ain't going to be 7 minutes plus 3 minutes. It's going to be 7 minutes plus about 6, 7. So yeah, full time across the 7:45 kickoff. So Arsenal beating... I can't believe they conceded. Cannot believe Arsenal conceded again. Now, I did say that I'm really, really happy with the Kolasinac bonus attacking returns, but it's so frustrating when you just see that Kolasinac could have got that double, not only assist, but clean sheet as well. And, oh, he's going to get me bonus point. Okay. So Aubameyang's going to get 3. Lacazette 2. Kolasinac 1 bonus point. And I've never... Mendez-Laing. Who? God, it really, really frustrates me that. But, you know, there's one of those where... My goodness. I'm just looking at my third substitute on my bench. Tom Cairney. And he got me... How did he get me a clean sheet point? If anybody wants to explain that to me. So Tom Cairney plays for Fulham. He played 63 minutes. He got a point for a clean sheet and 2 points for playing. But he had conceded 2 goals. I don't know what on earth is going on there. Maybe it's a bit of a blip in the old game there, but clearly not. But yeah, I'm very disappointed in Arsenal conceding late on. But I've got the points from Patrizio, of course. Does he get any save points? No, it's the same old malarkey with Patrizio. Gets the clean sheets, but when it comes to save points... So in other words, you know, it's one of those where actually Fabianski was almost the better buy to bring in overall, really, because Patrizio, I said at the time, he'll get you the clean sheets. When it comes to save points, he's a waste of absolute time here. Dan's rejoined us in the moment. Dan's rejoined us in the chat, so Dan will obviously be able to answer any questions you have for us as it stands. He'll be able to continue with the chat and everything. So yeah, Arsenal winning 2-1. Fulham in an incredible goals galore game, winning 4-2. Ryan Babel getting 2 assists. We did mention him in a podcast. Maybe somebody... Oh, there's a penalty. Oh. Penalty to Man United. I don't believe it. And there's 4 minutes left. Plus stoppage time. I don't believe it. So Paul Pogba he's probably gonna score, but maybe Tom Heaton could get... Yeah, there we are. So it's 2-1 United. 2-1 United. Paul Pogba. I'm getting... Oh, nearly got... Nearly blew my leg out there with cramp. Oh, God. Oh, no. 2-1 United. Okay. So back to it. Everton winning 1-0. Richarlison with the goal. No assist. Ha! Calvert-Lewin coming on for a cameo appearance and getting a yellow card. Wolves winning 3-0, sorry. Jimenez, the hero there. Matinho, 2 assists, but there's that man. The bandwagon man of Jota getting an assist. Jimenez getting 3 bonus points. Matinho with 2 and Doherty with 1. Looking at the Newcastle game, 2-1 at the moment. Aguero getting the goal. That's the main real, from a FPL perspective, what we're going to be looking at. Aguero will be getting the 3 bonus points. Rondon getting 2. And David Silva, as it stands right now, getting 1 bonus. But I can't see that ending. I can't see that ending that well. It's at this stage now where I just want to turn everything off. I don't want to know anything to do with football anymore because I just don't want to see us conceding again. The problem with, but I said this earlier. Now, admittedly, obviously, we went 2-0 up. I'm fully aware that is an extraordinary result, full stop. I was never expecting us to score 2 goals against United. I did say it'd be tight, but I did think that United would probably have a comfortable lead and then would take advantage of us tiring out after doing a defensive display. And I'm just hoping that doesn't happen today. I'm really hoping that doesn't. So it's on 88 minutes at the moment. It's going to be a minute, I reckon, about 4 or 5 minutes stoppage time, and it's going to be an absolute bombardment from United now. And it's just a case of, right, will we be able to hold out for the last 6-7 minutes of this game? So I'm looking at do you know what? From a statistics point of view, although United, bloody hell, possession, 80% to Man United. That just says it all, doesn't it? 80% for Man United. That is absolutely incredible. What was the biggest ever percentage for possession? Something like Man City had 82, 83 against Huddersfield or something like that last season. I can't specifically quite remember, but I'm getting really, really nervous here. I mean, what odds? I mean, if it ends Burnley and Newcastle winning, what odds would you have got on that? I mean, Burnley, I think, were 14, 15, maybe even more to 1 to win tonight. Newcastle to beat City would have been virtually the same, 12, 13s. So, what an evening of fantasy football. I mean, the main talking points so far have been Digne being sent off. Yes, Newcastle winning, Dan. I don't know if you want to continue watching this stream, but you're more than welcome to. We've been going for 2 hours and 2 minutes. I can't believe this is I've done it for this long, but you may as well see it out. I'm very disappointed in Kolasinac, as you can imagine, Dan, regarding the fact that he conceded. I'm sure you'll be able to go into detail with people live on chat if you want to. While we're just waiting for things to kind of end here, it's one of those where I have to say that this has been really, really enjoyable. I apologise to anybody that's completely brand new to this, thinking, what on earth's going on here? Why would I watch this? This is aimed at the hardcore elite FPL followers. This is for you guys. This is why I do this. This is why we're doing this. As I explained in the advert earlier on, I thought there's no point in me just sitting here doing nothing. I'd rather just talk to you guys about what's going on and you reacting along with me. As Brett Mollison has said once before, I'm going to use it, I'm going to steal the quote, which is going on this emotional roller coaster that is fantasy football. And oh no, I know it's saying Lindelof. I don't care. Oh no. This is so. It's one of those. No, forget it. That's so annoying. It's like Dan discussed it the other day, and he was talking to Jack. he was talking to Jack about... I don't even want to talk now. I don't even want to... Yeah, emotional roller... Exactly, Brett. I don't even want to talk at the moment, but I have to. And point being is this, is that Jack was asked a question by Dan, which was simply this. As a United fan, how do you feel when it comes to playing against Man City? And Sane scores for you. And the simple answer is, well, if City score against us, I'd rather them go on and win 2, 3, 4-0 and get me points for my team than have to worry about the fact that, you know, we may have a chance of winning or something. I'm completely shocked at the moment. I'm completely speaking gibberish. I'm so... The point being is that I'm going through now a stage where it's like I'm inside, I'm gutted, I'm disheartened at the fact that we've let a 2-0 lead slip to 2-2. And there's 40 seconds left of the game to go. And you're now watching a man completely distraught. But the messed up thing about... So, obviously, you're watching this right now and thinking, what on earth's going on? Well, my team, Burnley, has basically conceded 2 goals in the last 10 minutes when we were 2-0 up. And I'm now listening live to a radio station at Old Trafford, and I'll happily just take 2-2 right now. Obviously, I'm stating the obvious. I would take 2-2 now. But it's one of these where... So it's ended 2-2. Steve-O, sort out your mic. It's this here, mate. I don't care anymore. That result's just crushed me, but... 2-2, thank God. I mean, right. Well, so... What I'm thinking of is... It's ended 2-2 now. Forgetting... I'm now thinking to myself, right... I'm kind of now happy that Lindelof got me some... So that now... Those points as it stands right now, if it loads up. So I'm up... Ironically, tonight I've had one of the best game weeks out of everybody that has played tonight. And Lindelof is... I don't believe this. So as it stands right now, Wood, Ashley Barnes and Lindelof are going to get 3 points. Pogba's going to get 2. And Heaton is going to get 1 point. But I believe the game dispatches the points a bit more fair than that. So it could actually end up being Wood, Barnes and Lindelof on 3. I can't think of what's going on. So FPL Boone has just said that City have lost. Right, okay, City have lost. I've got the game live on now, so it hasn't actually officially finished per se. But it's one of those where it looks like they have lost, and this really has thrown up the... They have lost. Right then, let's recompose ourselves, shall we, everybody? We're going to be... so it has finished. Right, ended 2-1 to Newcastle. Right, so let's just settle down. I've been going on now for 2 hours and 9 minutes. I'm going to have a quick glass of water. Sorry, a bottle of water. I'm going to compose my thoughts. And let's look at this from a fantasy football perspective, shall we? I'm going to turn the radio off. Let's compose ourselves. And George Az says, an incredible night. Well, you've been here all night with me. You've experienced the emotional roller coaster. Right then, let's compose ourselves. Let's reset everything. Let's look at what's what. And we will sign off with a look at what on earth has happened this evening. So, as it stands right this second, I am on 54 points. It looks like I'll be getting a bonus 3 points from Lindelof, a bonus point from Kolasinac. They're my differentials. I just want to look at my differentials at the moment. So Lindelof and Kolasinac are getting me bonus differential points. Okay? Which, so far, if you'd offered me that at the start of the night, then hey presto, here we go. So Arsenal 1-2-1. Fulham beat Brighton 4-2. Everton beat Huddersfield 1-0. Wolves coming out 3-0 winners against West Ham. You saw it here. United coming back from 2-0 down in the last 10 minutes to draw 2-2 thanks to a Pogba penalty and a Lindelof goal in the dying seconds. Newcastle beating Man City. And who Man City got next, Dan? You know who it is. It's Arsenal. And it's a double game week. This I'm going to do briefly is, so I've got 54 points with Robertson and Salah captain. See, captain hasn't even played. I've completely forgotten that because everybody's going to captain Salah. I've completely forgotten that I've even got a captain to play. So it's one of those where actually I just want to put the charger in. I've completely forgot, but because Salah is going to be captained by everybody, it's not really going to affect much. So it's all going to come down to differentials. Let's be honest, it's going to come down to differentials. So Robertson and Salah I've got left. I'm just going to quickly look over at the Torbay Elite League and let's just see my team, how it's compared to the players in and around me. So we'll look at Jason's. So Jason at the moment is on 29 points, but he's going to have 13 points coming off the bench. Okay, so that will take him up to 42 points when the game week ends. He'll have also Salah as his... Well, I'm not even going to mention Salah. So we've got him and Wan-Bissaka left to play as differentials. So his differential over me is Wan-Bissaka versus Robertson. Fine. I'd like to think I'd know who'd win out of that battle, but you just don't know. On to Darren Monday. His differentials over me. So at the moment, he's got 21 points. His differentials over me are Son. Well, there's a lot of chat that he probably won't even start tomorrow, but you don't know. David Luiz. Alexander-Arnold isn't going to play, so Wilson is going to come on. If Wilson doesn't play because he's injured, Fraser will come on. Simple as it gets. So that's his differentials to me. And then just quickly looking over at Ben Towler's team, if it just quickly loads up, which it doesn't, but here we are. So Ben Towler's team, so 34 points, but he's got Alisson. He'll have Bennett coming off the bench. Oh, he captained Aubameyang. So I completely forgot about that, but Aubameyang he captained. Fair play to you, Ben. And he's going to get 3 bonus points, so excellent. There was a lot of talk, of course, about who to captain out of Aubameyang and Salah. Like I said, the safety option was Salah. Jason, I said he bottled it. He bottled it. But Salah could easily get exactly the same score as Aubameyang. But Ben's differential is Firmino and Bennett. Bennett's 5 points coming off the bench. So yeah, looks like to me personally, I've had a very, very good night so far. Barring the actual Burnley result, I have had an excellent evening. A very good evening, in fact. So moving on to the Elite FPL League, which obviously, like I said, you guys are involved in. And we'll just quickly look over the teams that are kind of high up at the moment, which is obviously Jack Gleeson, Paul Wickett, John Harris. So Paul Wickett, as we discussed, he's had a very poor game week at the moment. And once this game decides to load up, which of course it decides to crash at the precise moment that you just want to end this stream as it comes to an end. Maybe this is a sign from God. I have no idea. So Paul Wickett, 24 points. He has Fabianski coming off the bench. Only 3 points. Okay, fair enough. He only got 3. Why is that? Why did he only get 3 points for? He was on 4 a minute ago. How strange. Okay. So yes. Oh, because he conceded. Yeah, he conceded a third goal. Idiot. So Fabianski coming off with 3 points. So that's 27. But he's got Robertson, David Luiz, Salah, Firmino as his players that are coming left to play. And moving on to just quite quick brief look over at Jack Gleeson's team, who's second in our Elite FPL mini league. God, this has been a long league. So he's on 37 points. Robertson, Salah, Hazard. Hazard's the main one for Jack. That's going to be the interesting one for Jack. What can Hazard do against Huddersfield? Against Bournemouth tomorrow evening. Because obviously that's when he and Higuain will actually link up together. And then finally, I'll just quickly end on looking at John Harris's team, who is 4th in the Elite FPL Mini League once this thing decides to load up. So John Harris, not that far off Jason actually, only 3 points as it stands as of basically last game week, just 3 points off Jason, so doing very, very well in the overall rankings. And he's only on 29 points. Jason will be very pleased to know that he's going to have Digne coming off the bench. So that's -2. So already he's going to be down to 27. Going to have a differential in Trippier to play. Hazard, another one, Firmino as well. But it's all about the double game week. But we're going to talk about this. I've been speaking now for coming up to almost 2.5 hours. I can't even believe I've done. What I want to say is this, for anybody that has watched this stream and has been in it from the start, thank you very much from here. I cannot believe you've been here for 2 hours and 20 minutes. So on to some advertisement, shall we? So tomorrow evening, we're doing it all again. We're not doing the full 90 minutes plus half-time chat. Tomorrow evening, myself, Dan and Jason will be covering the final... Well, basically, we'll be covering the second halves of tomorrow evening's games. So, but the difference being is that everything on screen is all going to be the presentation. So you'll be pleased to know that it's not just going to be you looking at me. That's the biggest news of this evening. Tomorrow evening, it's not just going to be me. And I'll have 2 others to speak to, and they can speak, and I'll be able to breathe for 5 minutes. On Thursday evening, the 3 of us again will be looking over the transfer transfers that are happening on the deadline day, of course. So that's going to be interesting. Saturday, there's a potential of us doing a 3 p.m. live reaction to what's going on. So again, another potential 2.5 hour stream. And like I said, the fixtures on Saturday, and like I said, it's the double game week, but fixtures on Saturday are decent. You've got 7 fixtures on Saturday, 5 of which are kicking off in the evening. In the afternoon at 3. And you've got Spurs and Newcastle that are kicking off at 12:30. So there'll be quite a bit to talk about there. Sunday's going to be our preview, but I think I'm going to leave everybody to it now. I'm going to say my goodbyes. So, as ever, if you enjoyed this stream, hit the like button. If you have any feedback for the 3 of us regarding the podcast overall, wanting more or wanting less content from us, let us know. All feedback is welcome. We do take it on board and we do like to act on it. One of the biggest actions we've taken so far is being more active on Twitter. So yeah, if you want to follow us on Twitter or Instagram, you can follow us at Elite FPL. For anybody that has been new to this stream tonight and has enjoyed it, well, let's just put it this way. It's exactly the same as on all the other shows, other than there's 2 other people. And if you want to know when we are going to be going live, etc., just hit the old subscribe button. It's as simple as it gets. We really would appreciate it. And we surpassed the 250 subscriber mark the other day. So we're really grateful for anybody that's hit that subscribe button. We, of course, really appreciate the guys in the community. We are really proud of the community that we've created for the Elite FPL podcast. And I can see you guys really enjoy yourselves in the chat and you chat along with each other. And that's what we want to build from this. It's been a very enjoyable evening. I've just seen Jack there saying thank you for the emotional roller coaster. Blimey, has it been an emotional roller coaster? It's been absolutely crazy. I think I'm going to relax now. I appreciate that. So yeah, thank you again. Thank you for joining me. And we do it all again tomorrow evening. And we will be advertising again what's all going to be happening. So thanks for everybody that's been in the stream and have a good evening.